Hello, welcome to Adventures in Remote Viewing. I'm John Adams. In early April of 2026, I asked for remote viewers to work a blind target. This target was 76449993. What will be the effects of the Iran conflict and closure of the Strait of Hormuz in the U.S. near term, which means weeks, months, or a year, etc.? And what came back is already starting to look interesting and revealing. Right now, I'll go over the four sessions individually, starting with Charlie's first. And let's see, the top, take it from the top. His session opens with something kinetic and alarming. Right out of the gate, it gets cracked, full of darkness, division, rumbling, shifting, shocking motion. He draws a lightning bolt and this other symbol, and he's picking up on something explosive, something that disrupts suddenly. We get swept up, division, shifting, huddling up close together, which is interesting. Chained up, tons of darkness, bound. Okay, does AOL a mountain, looks like, and a ravine. And he's getting like fixed mechanical movement, going up, going down, something going up, going down. Simultaneously, there are huddled up objects going up while another goes down, breaking into, separating two parts and duality. Perpetual spinning, it's very hot and bright. Routine, avoiding darkness, sterile. He did say something on rails. Moving on. He did get passively waiting to receive intervals. Must wait out a duration of time. Something stabbed or wedged into something. Very scattered, shooting in every direction. He has all these objects gathered around in this place, which in one of his next sketches, it will become more clear that it's something in nature. There's mountains and possibly this water and land-water interface. And these are moving. They never touch and perfectly and narrowly miss each other with precision, forming a hole to pass through. Tons of interacting lines, showering around. This extreme luminosity, bright. I don't know if that's part of the conflict, potentially. Something else. This extreme luminosity, blinded by light. Encasing, trapping, feeling of capturing something. Precise timing, window of important timing. So that would absolutely make sense and seem to correlate. And then here we see these mountains and this area of things which could be ships in the center abyss with brightness. They do not touch but move fast. In motion, darkness, craggy, rocky, it's hot. And a lot of slimy, small roundings. Feels like I'm here to collect something. Ripping, breaking something open to collect what remains. Feeling of being suspended, and it's high above and in motion, and this bright light and passing through. So yeah, that was an interesting session there. Next, we'll go into David's session, which is the longest one of the four, and it's let's see. me go back up. Okay. Yeah, he's getting this rocky, hard, multi-layered terrain, a sense of two separate issues happening again simultaneously. So it's a pair again of two separate things. One going up and one going down again. So let's do this. Topological ground survey. Disjointed. Feel a sense of loss and separation here, like covering a photograph to, hang on, something not the same, handled carefully. Get this symbol or logo or something. Get a sense of separate issues, two separate issues. Filmed on a soundstage, staged events, multiple editing, problematic editing software, problematic espionage. And then he draws a sign with danger zone, multiple witnesses, like a warning sign, do not cross into this barrier. Okay, so yeah, this sort of movie connotation and video surveillance and um, photography, and this disgraced journalist who draws and someone like a dead body on a slab. Autonomous robots, semi-autonomous. And so he's getting separated again. He feels a sense of hope here, and a series of investigations. Like filming a scene in a movie. This is some kind of structure in with land, and it says cold, and it's AOL moon artifact or something like that. Here we see an above-head picture of perhaps three vehicles or trucks or something, possibly transport going into a tunnel. And we get this underground element through some of these sessions. We get a transmitter, building a planetary exploitation. Leaked footage from NASA. And so let's see what else. Sense of rebellion, secluded. I'm sensing a timeline to a destructive occurrence, which is certainly interesting. Probing mechanism. Feeling of rebirth. Mostly Aboriginal tribe. And feeling a confirmation bias. Photographs, assassin, charting expedition. He gets like these mind kind of experiments or something along those lines. I'm getting the impression of a distant relative, extraction, buzzing. Get the sense, get the impression someone's hooked up to electrodes here. Praying mantis, AOL, sadistic, inaudible speech. Get the impression of a slow death. Here he's drawing what could be like a someone tortured or bound. A person being electrocuted to death, barely alive. A little troubling. Brain matter, cyborgs, sense of research, genetic engineering. More of this brainwaves, two-way communication, feeling a heightened sense of self-awareness here. And this empath, hyperbolic communication. Lacking significant depth of emotion. So yeah, it's kind of getting into, you know, more anomalous stuff, obviously, or strange stuff. Doesn't mean it's off. It may be hard to verify, but we will see. And getting the sense of the propagation of a species. This hidden underground chamber, radiation, and he's getting a sense of artificial structure buried within the land feature. There's a massive entrance and Masonic temple, looks like an AOL. Cannibalism, relative species, like they just can't help themselves. Covered up by personal tragedy. I'm getting a sense of futuristic timeline. Yeah, that's definitely hitting on the signal there. Primary focus, and it's getting a cybernetic species, essential burial chamber, well-kept secret. It's like I'm seeing this bored alien playing games relative to the human race. So that's him, yeah, he's could be playing cards or checkers or something. Space compartmentalism, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm messing this up. There we go. Get the sense of leaving someone behind. Organized by birth, peace, and camaraderie. Like a special mission. So, yeah, I mean, he gets a sense of hope, and peace and camaraderie could be possible effects or future outcomes. There's some of this weird stuff. There's underground stuff. There's maybe some fake stuff and some peril. But we'll move on to the next one. Although I wanted to read some of the summary that he gets into. This all feels a bit sadistic to me. A sense of resurrection and brain matter, cybernetics, two-way communication, and like this muscle fiber type stuff, subcutaneous. Looks like a species lacking significant depth and emotion. The propagation of a species and a timeline. I get a hybrid program, peace and camaraderie, and feelings of leaving someone behind. Characteristics of the human mind seems important here, and a heightened sense of self-awareness or illumination. Infiltration of the human mind genome. I get imagery of human minds interlinked, as well as classic abduction experiments, as well as curating chromosomes. Assimilating into the human population, a hybrid human being, evolution and practicality. So yeah, that's intriguing. You know, there's plenty out there about, you know, what the future may hold and what some of these, you know, anomalous aspects are relating to. But next up is John Dixon. He senses a heartbeat. Stomach drop is like one of his first feelings with regards to the ideogram. I'm not sure whatever is going on here is legal or morally correct. Strung out and sleep deprived. It's a sick person, animal in a cage, orangutan. Okay, next page. Moving to describe the immediate landscape and target location. Spread thin through. Pouring a substance or liquid matter into a mold. Implies plan production, design, or willingness to create or plan project management, concrete construction, 3D in a 2D work, 2D zone. Trying to grasp understanding of a spiritual architect, energetic architect. So the activity of the majority / population is distinct, serious, self-proclaimed. It's our birthright / right. Governmental, ritualistic expression tied by a dramatic opposition of a tyrannical force. Seems like a literal definition of smoke and mirrors. So, yeah, we get kind of had that feeling in David's session. Bioorganic, energy in motion, land, marshy, semi-wet. All is quiet on the eastern front. And we see no yin to the yang, the symbol of semicolon or an imbalance of energy. Lives are at stake, mass populace. And that's what we're looking at here with the Strait of Hormuz. The longer it remains in this situation, the worse it's going to be. And there's like kind of no off ramp, it seems like, and or willingness to bring about resolution or peace. So it's definitely going to have some knock-on effects, and there are definitely lives at stake in the whole world because, you know, most of the world is reliant not only on oil coming from this area, but many other kinds of resources. So mass populace. And interestingly, he gets omni opus imperium. And what that is alluding to, you know, it's Latin for, let's see here, opus imperium. It's kind of like a dictate from authority or dominion. It's overriding power or project or action. And then you get liberati or liberates. So, yeah, that is that's noteworthy there. Describe the most recognizable man-made landmark. Get development, installation, partial construction site. And you know, we have these all these refineries that have been attacked. I think at least 50 now. In the Gulf states and different countries and Russia. Even here in Texas, apparently there's you know, that could be coincidence. I mean, there are fires from there from time to time, but there's just so many right now, and it's almost like a coordinated attack. But then again, that may be giving too much credit to world leaders. Reflective, lustrous, condominium, lost hotel. Interesting. Delicate, thin ice. We're definitely on thin ice, trying to complete the mission. Bunker Hill. Then he's kind of getting like this sense of different areas, aspects of culture or whatever, architecture. And that's building Old Spaniard church of some kind. Conversion of religion. Religious conquest. Okay, so the activity that tasker would find most helpful. Move to that area. Quiet at first, dark, moonlight dependent. I feel like I should have special clothing and training before I go walking into this area. And it's outside. He gets these symbols, and then he writes New World Order, some Jordan Maxwell stuff. The rising azimuth. So, yeah, something rising on the horizon. Perhaps they're star related, mathematical divergent, small percentage of success rate. Yeah. Feels unfair, unjust, as if someone worked their hands to skin and bones and sacrificed everything, and something just got robbed. Something just robbed this group of soldiers. And he's drawing what seems to be on water, circling about, nosedive, dovetail, spiraling, merging of alike characteristics, morals tied to long bloodlines. I don't know what Kappa-centric, maybe it's carbon-centric is what he was trying to draw, I'm not sure. Alphanumeric capstone, treasury of exponential forces, not belonging to just one man or nation. Unification of tired men in search of a united front of far Western ideals and wartime developments. An equal? There is none. Figurative notations of Mesopotamia, alliances. Biliminal tongues speak the loudest. He draws this Islamic symbol, this star and crescent moon. And he puts positions of Exodus and Exodus taken blindly, structure, the fire, the light that is needed to fuel structure. A merge of Russian, Cyrillic, Greek, Saudi Arabia, California, an alliance, ? Paying for Julius Caesar's sins incarnate. And it's interesting because this Professor Zhang's become more popular as after reading this, the next day he went on to say that he feels like some of Israel's actions may have to do with revenge on Rome. The target is or consists of the following gestalt components, man-made, this stuff here. Possible seawater, marsh-like environment, reminds me of a jungle-like terrain, isolated in time. The motion of the man-made is or has a downward spiral that reminds me of a plane being shot down on a stall at high altitude, so made spiraling. Okay, this also gets interesting here. He draws these subjects, a group of individuals that seem to be held captive. The hands are together. It says for some kind of scientific institution tied to a revolt or warlike revolution. They seem to be organizing some sort of organization that they believe is supported by bloodline or family generational revenge. Julius Caesar seems to have been tied in with whatever this bloodline of individuals anger. Okay. However, he actually he has another session that was a partial session. So let me bring that up. Okay, so he had done an early go at it and then stopped. I think it's this zigzagging man-made structure. Okay, polycontaminant, not your regular smoke. And he draws this huge cloud of smoke, it looks like, from a distance, vast, hissing like noise, perpendicular, aloft, cyclone like orange yellowish. So it's just potentially orange yellow smoke, potentially petrochemical or poly components or some kind of burning. Any AOL's bomb or volcano. And then he's getting, we see fabricated, linked, connected, chanting like noise, and this Gaelic type language, and people holding hands. Um, People holding hands on a road or, pavement. It's like a road leading into an entrance or a city, or maybe there's a bridge. So it makes us think of the Iran conflict when people were believing that they were being liberated, and then now they're being threatened to destroy their country or whatever case. So the final one is Patricia, and hers is the shortest, but there are some interesting specific details. Let's see. Um, and she's getting some descriptions of like landscape and different colors and motion and stuff like that, and goes into manufacturing, hot, dusty, hostile, like a feeling of distress, and that seems to coincide with the rest of this. Most significant at best of, it's okay. So seems to be some kind of structure and ability to walk over this, and then this section that is underneath. And here we see at best distance from above. I'm not sure if this is a waterway, but it could very well be. We get this going down. I don't know if it's going up and down, but earthy, brown, red. So pathway suspended. Looks like it's a little inconclusive here. Is that exiting or earthy? Any sections moving, and there's this sort of lane almost like in direction. So I don't know if that's like kind of hinting at the target and the signal there, but we see it again here. But things going down and hot, vaporous, and more of this underground stuff again. It's hot and vaporous. Some of this could be symbolic. Manufacturing, melting, blending, illegal, human activity, planning, outside, freedom, outside, want to be outside of something, underneath, camouflage, building parallel lifestyle, building like underneath, autonomous, creating autonomous life underneath, the material, softness, blended, important to succeed in this, life underneath. This material helps to capture oxygen and extract CO2 so life is possible. So maybe like an underground living system. Is it as many elites are planning their underground bunkers or whatever? But yeah, that is the data we have on these 4 sessions. And let's see anything else to point out. So yeah, again, that's the data. Whether you believe in remote viewing or put value in the output here, but that's what the data says that we're getting. So draw your own conclusions. Strait of Hormuz target. Thank you for tuning in.